everybody, welcome to 10 Minutes Better. This is a collaboration with Melinda from Melinda Plain and Simple, and normally we do keep it to like a 10-minute type of project. I am going to be showing you a very simple dump cake that you can use for your Thanksgiving or whatever holiday get together that you may be doing where you live, anything that you have going on between now and Christmas, or even I think you could use this into New Year's, because pumpkin doesn't just have to be in autumn, right? You can just kind of use it anytime. Anyway, I used this recipe for a family get together we had. My cousin and her mom came from Florida to see us, and we had a wonderful time. It was like my whole family was able, well, most of our family was able to attend. And so I made a pumpkin dump cake, super simple, and I just want to share it with you guys. And our focus for this month also is we're being grateful, we're being thankful, and so I am just thankful for each and every one of you that's always here watching, commenting, liking, if you're subscribed, whatever. If you just watch occasionally, that's also fine as well. Very grateful for you as well. But I did just want to tell you how thankful I am for your participation here, and just thankful for so many blessings we've had this year. I could probably go on for an hour about that, but let's go ahead and get into the video, and I'll see you on the other side. Really quick before we get into the video, these are the ingredients that you need. You need the larger can of pumpkin, or you can use 2 of the 15-ounce cans, either way. You need the 12-ounce can of evaporated milk. You need, now the recipe calls for 1 stick of butter. I read reviews and some of those said use 2 sticks. So I used 2 sticks when I did it and it worked out great. You need 3 eggs. You need a spice cake. If you can't find a spice cake, try Kroger if you have one, because I have trouble finding spice cakes. I did get this one at Walmart, but I had trouble in the past. Brown sugar. There are some spices that I'm having to do different spices, but cinnamon is one of them, and I had to put in allspice for mine. And then just regular white sugar. So these are the different things that you're going to need, and we'll get into the video. Also a little bit of salt, which is not pictured here. A little bit of salt, and we'll go ahead and get into the recipe now. Okay, we're going to go ahead and start. So the first thing you're going to do is preheat your oven to 350. So I've done that. Then we're going to grease our 9x13 pan. Now I'm splitting this up into 2, so I have a small. When I made this before and I took it to the family get together, I kept the small one and gave the larger one to my parents, for the get together. So here's the bigger one. This worked out great to use these 2 sizes, so this was fine. One's a little bit smaller than the other, but it's, however you want to do it, you can use the 9x13. And then I'm doing this again, and then my parents will keep one and I will keep one. I'm trying to take, okay, so I greased the pans. Now it says combine pumpkin, the evaporated milk, the eggs. So the 3 eggs are, you can see, are already in here. I just went ahead, I'm trying to streamline this just a tad like they would do on a cooking show. So let's see here. Right there, we can see good. Okay, combine pumpkin, milk, eggs, both sugars in a bowl. Okay, so here's my evaporated milk. I went ahead, and the cats are here because they think I'm feeding them like tuna juice or something. We do all that kind of tuna juice stuff for them. So they are here because they think that when I open this can that we're doing something for them, and we are not. I am going to give a little pumpkin to Ranger. So this is, again, this is the big can. You can also use, it calls for the large can, but you can just use 2 of the 15 ounces. That's what I did before. I didn't have the large can. Also, I just want to mention this. If you're concerned about Chinese made, or food from China, this Libby's brand is made in the USA. The Great Value brand at Walmart is made in China. It comes from China. The brand, whatever the brand is called at Dollar Tree, at my Dollar Tree, you'll have to check yours because yours might be different brand, but mine says China, so I did not pick that up. This Libby's cost more, so the best place to buy it if you don't want the Chinese type is, that I found anyway, I'm not sure about Kroger. Kroger's might be okay, but the best one I found was Aldi. So I got the smaller cans at Aldi, and those are also made in the USA. But I did pick one of these up. I was, store hopping, and so I just, when I saw this one was USA, I was going to pick up the Great Value, and I was like, ooh, I don't want the Chinese kind. So the one thing I've found that you absolutely have to get from China, it seems, is canned mandarin oranges. I've never found one that is not. The name brand also comes from there. I'm going to give a big spoonful of this to Ranger right here. Ranger loves it without, he doesn't have to have sugar in it, so a nice little treat for him. It's good for their bellies, or supposed to be. And he, what was the other thing? Pumpkin milk, eggs, both sugars. Okay, so this is the brown sugar they used to sell at Dollar Tree. I went looking for it, and they had the regular Domino hard packed, but this is more of a granular. This is easier to deal with. It does say to use the packed kind. And then you can use white sugar. I'm just using the Florida Crystals. I just like this. And the other one I use the white sugar, but this time I'm gonna use that. But let me go, with these eggs in here, let me just go ahead and stir this. Stir it up and get the eggs all, just probably be easier. It's not all in here yet. Here go the bells, the church bells. Okay, so this is my half a cup packed brown sugar. And again, this is more of a granular, but it worked just fine. So, whoa, almost did too much. So there's that. You can see it's more of a granular sugar. And then this is the Florida Crystals. Again, it's half a cup, and you can just use the regular white sugar, whatever you like. This happens to be non-GMO, and obviously the rest of this isn't non-GMO, but we do what we can. Okay, so there's my quote white sugar, which is actually not white sugar, it's pure cane sugar. Okay, we'll go ahead and stir this in. Okay, combine pumpkin, milk, eggs, both sugars in a bowl. Stir in cinnamon, ginger, cloves, and salt. Now, I do not have ginger or cloves, and so what I'm using is allspice, and that seemed to work just fine. So if that's, use whatever you have there. I was not going to go out and buy this for one recipe. I've done that in the past, but, that can get very expensive. And I also knew allspice would work. I kind of looked to see what I had before I went shopping, and I've used allspice before. And it kind of can take the place of some of these other spices. So if you just want one. Okay, now let's see. So it says 1 teaspoon ground cinnamon. So here's my 1 teaspoon. Go ahead and just, I'm going to stand over here because I know I'm going to probably end up dropping it. Okay, and then I went ahead and did 1 of this since I didn't have the ginger and the cloves. The ginger said 1/2 teaspoon and the cloves said 1/4 teaspoon. So I just went ahead and used 1 teaspoon of this. Close enough. That is my refrigerator making all that noise, if you're wondering. Every time it makes ice, it makes this tapping noise. We feel like we're weird because we've never had a refrigerator that did this before. Okay, that was my oven beeping. It's ready to go whenever I am. Now, once we get all this, this salt. And how much was it, salt? 1/2 teaspoon salt. I'm just going to do, this is Himalayan salt, so I'm just going to kind of eyeball that. I don't think it's going to matter one way or the other. This is the one they used to sell at Dollar Tree. It's about $3 or $4 somewhere else. They've quit selling it. They've got a different kind they're selling, but I like this one because it was non-GMO. I don't think the new one is, but I bought a whole bunch of them because salt really doesn't go bad. So it's in that nice package. So I just think I've got 2 extras in the closet. Probably no telling how many years that will last me. And I'm glad I bought them since they quit selling it. Okay, so now that we've done this, we're gonna go ahead and pour this into our pan that we prepared. And of course, I've got 2 pans, so I need to be really careful how I'm divvying this up. So, it's been in the 80s here, and we're about to get a freeze, a hard freeze. I'm just really, just a little upset because this is, I don't know, I should have started counting how many years in a row our yellow, beautiful, bright yellow ginkgo tree has not turned yellow. The leaves have fallen off green. So the freeze is not here yet. The leaves are barely turning, a little bit of yellow, and we're gonna have 3 nights of hard freeze, and they're gonna all fall off. So, in fact, a lot of stuff in the yard is still green. The grass is still green. Well, we're having rain. We've had a drought. We're having rain right now. So the grass is greening up as we speak because we've had almost an inch of rain. Finally, we were behind about 4 inches. We've had quite the drought, which is not unusual really at all, but it was kind of weird timing this year. Instead of having rain in fall, we had rain all summer, and then we had drought. Okay, so that's good enough. Doesn't have to be perfect, you know. Just divide it up how you can. And then Ranger is going to enjoy licking the bowl. I usually just let him, unless it's something with chocolate, I just let him go for it. So thing we're gonna do, now we've got our spice cake mix. So I've got the Betty Crocker. You can get any brand, it doesn't matter. This one says it's super moist. I went ahead and cut it so I could get into it. And so then what we do is we sprinkle the dry cake mix evenly. Now, it also calls for pecans. I don't have any pecans, so I left it out before. I think for Thanksgiving, if I don't totally forget, lose my mind, I'm going to do pecans for Thanksgiving because I think, well, I'll probably do half and half because my family will appreciate that, some of them. So I'm going to sprinkle this evenly. And again, I have to be a little careful because I'm using 2 different pans, but you would not have to be nearly as careful if you're just using the one 9x13. Go ahead and, I know I'm going to put more on there, but let me just go ahead and put on this one. And you're going to spread, it's going to be pretty thick on there. That's probably good enough. The other one I did pretty thin. So let's, oops, just poured some out on the stovetop there. Let's get the corners now for sure. And then what we're going to do is we're going to pour the butter on. And again, the recipe calls for 1 stick, but I saw some reviews. It was at least one person said it really needed, they felt it needed 2 sticks, so I had plenty. So I just went ahead and used it with 2 sticks. It turned out great. By the way, my entire family loves it. Even, I feel like my dad can be a little more picky. I mean, he loves dessert. You know, we all love dessert. But as far as something like pumpkin, I think he, and also my husband, could be a little bit pickier about it. And both, Spencer just asked me, I don't know if it was this morning or last night, he's like, where's my dump cake? Because I had the stuff sitting out. So we knew I was going to make another one. So he's ready. Now, my butter is in the microwave. When I have to. When I get finished with this, I'm going to show you a tour of, I just did my fall decorating. It's a very small area that I decorate. It's just my entry hall and my dining room, which are together. And so I'll show you that. So you get kind of a twofer today. Let's see. I think I spooned this out. Let me get this bigger spoon. Let me get the bigger spoon. I think I spooned it with the bigger spoon. Ranger's in here snorting and snotting. Okay, the first thing I think that I did was I tamped this down. These were some of the things that were mentioned in the reviews, just to kind of, I'm not sure this part matters, but I did kind of tamp it down, so. It'll make it look a little, probably look a little neater at least when it comes out. Now, one of the complaints on the reviews were this isn't like cake, so I'm going to tell you the pumpkin is not going to be like cake. It's going to be like pumpkin. So the bottom, it is going to be very soft. It's not going to come out like a cake. So just know that. It does have cake on the top, and you do have the butter on the top, but I was going to spoon this out, I just remembered. Okay, pour into prepared pan, sprinkle dry cake, mix evenly, sprinkle pecans, drizzle melted butter over the top, bake 50 to 60 minutes. I did it for 50 minutes. It says edges lightly brown, until edges are lightly brown. 50 minutes was plenty for mine, so I took it out at 50. One thing about putting this much butter on there is you're able to cover the entire thing with butter, although it kind of floats around a lot, but still getting some chunks of butter, y'all. Smush it a little bit. Don't know that it matters. It's going to melt in there anyway. But I did kind of want it to be uniform on here. Anyway, if you guys decide to make this, let me know in the comments what you think, or if you think it's something that you might make at some point. I really do think, because there was not one person that didn't rave about it, I think that it is really a crowd pleaser. So, and I'm not, did I already say I'm not a huge pumpkin person? Because you're adding all this sugar to it, it really makes it magnificent. But I think last year I did a pumpkin, what was it, like a pumpkin mousse pie? It turned out really good. I enjoyed it. All right, so you can see that there's a lot of butter going into this. I'm trying to fill in these nooks and crannies, but it's not quite. I'm gonna see if I can kind of move it to the edges. I don't remember having to do this the last time. I think maybe I may not have tapped it down quite as much as I should have, but I'm just trying to get it to the edges, because you want the buttery goodness to be all over, right? There we go. I stirred some of the cake mix up. That was not what I meant to do. Okay. Probably good enough. Oh yeah, there's more of it sitting on this one. Easier to spread this one around. I'll probably put a little more on this one. Yeah, there we go. All right, so it's all pretty much covered now. Okay, so it's gonna go in the oven for 50 minutes, and then I'll be back to show you what it looks like. In the meantime, we'll go on our tour. Okay, so here's some of my fall decor. This part's in the kitchen. This is just a hand towel that I got from Dollar Tree probably 2 or 3 years ago. And over here, another one from Dollar Tree from a few years ago. Harvest time, we got the cute little squirrels. And I wanted to show you, I'm gonna be really quiet. This is Jasper, and he's got his head shoved into this. This is my heater. And there's my rugs that I got them. They like to lay next to the heater, so I have to be careful if I'm not around or if we're sleeping to move these rugs, but I'm home all day today, so there's my Hello Fall and my welcome mat that I got at Dollar Tree. And you can see how I told you he just like sticks his face right into the heater. Almost like he's swimming. Isn't that hilarious? Oh, he knows I'm talking about him. Look at him. He's so cute. Hey, Jasper. Jasper's my big talker. Okay, so let's go over here. That's a toy of theirs. Let's run over here real quick and I'll show you I got this one more recently. I don't think I got that one this year. I think maybe it was last year. Pumpkin spice and everything nice. And normally I'm not much of a pumpkin spice person, but here I am 2 years in a row making a pumpkin spice dessert. All right, well, let's go into the dining room and the entry hall now. Okay, I did not decorate for Halloween at all, but I forgot that I had a cute little kitty cat with his back humped up, and I put that on the door. So I am gonna put my harvest sign up, but I'm waiting for Halloween to be over. Obviously, by the time you see this, that will be finished with, and the harvest sign will be up. So that'll be up on the front door. Now, moving on to, I got, these are brand new for this year. I think they're so cute. They're scarecrow, girl and boy. You can see the one on the right has some little bows in her hair and the little flower, of course. And the little boy, he's got a pumpkin on where her flower is. So anyway, that's my little chair covers. I changed out the cats. The cats eat up here. I changed out their tablecloth. And by the way, I know some people don't love Temu, but I gotta tell you, I had a Temu tablecloth that's much better quality than this one I have on here. This one's just from Walmart. It's one of those, I think it's a flannel backed one. It's plastic, just something I can wipe down. And they tear it up and I don't care. But I got a much nicer one at Temu. It was really, really good quality. And it took Mila, I think it's Mila's claws that are the problem. It took her months to tear that one up. So I am gonna get rid of it, but I loved it, and if they still have it, I'm going to order another one for next spring. So we'll keep. Okay, so I always decorate the piano, and so I just have these little scarecrows. These were probably from Dollar Tree. I really don't remember. And this little garland is probably from Dollar Tree. And then somewhere, hang on a minute, somewhere I got this fabric. Let me just get this down so you can see. This is just a piece of fabric that I have draped around, and then I have a couple of little boxes. There's just like a short box on the piano at all. I moved my picture of my sister and me, so it's over here to the side. It was on the other side, and I put some pine cones around it, and then I got these, 2 of the pine cones were out all year, and then I just added these extra pine cones. So that's really all that's going on here. Mostly just the little scarecrow scene. Sorry it's so fuzzy. And I didn't really change this any. This has a lot of browns, so I've got my big turtle and just some browns, and so I didn't see any reason to really do anything to this. I just left it the way it was. Trying to focus, but it's not working out. It's just too dark in here, I think. But sorry about that. That's not that's not really helpful. I can't see it at all. There we go. Having a hard time deciding what to focus on. So I got a lot of browns and sort of natural and teal colors, so I just left this the way it was. And then the other thing that I added, I'm actually going to give this Happy Fall Y'all away, but until then, I'm going to go ahead and give it away, you know, like now, but I just stuck it up there so I could show it to you that I am going to declutter that. I don't have a lot of fall stuff. That's the only thing I'm decluttering. And then this is my scary cat. The door is more scary than anything because it needs to be painted, but anyway. Let's go outside for just a second. I'm going to show you the landscape out here. It's very cold. It's 42, but very windy. So we're not going to be out here long, but you can see the grass is still somewhat green. You can see we've got still a lot of green out here. Now these bushes are evergreen, so they'll be green anyway. The church decorated, isn't that nice? They put cute little scarecrow stuff up. And then my anniversary bush, it was losing its leaves already, but I think that was mostly because it was so dry. And then I have not put my pansies in yet, but I just pulled my plants out. But you can see how green the grass is, especially now that it's rained. It's greened up quite a bit, but it's all going to go away. It's going to be totally frozen in the next 3 days. So there you go. But I have not bought my pansies yet. I'm waiting. And this is what the finished product looks like. There's the larger one, and here is the smaller one. You can see that they definitely browned around the edges. In fact, about 10 minutes ago, they were browning around the edges. But I just went ahead and kept them in there for the full 50 minutes. So this one did turn out a little bit more brown, but I mean, it's not burned or anything like that, so I think it's fine. Okay, quick backyard tour. These plants are finally getting watered, and they're kind of laying around everywhere. Part of this is my sedum. It's still raining. That's what that dripping noise is. And there we've got some fall color. We did have a tiny bit of fall color before, you know, all this started, but you can see, hang on. Get a grip on it here. You can see that the trees are still fairly green, ones that have leaves on them. My bushes are kind of turning. And those are the 2 yellow, the ginkgo trees that turn yellow. You can see they're starting to turn, but this is what becomes depressing to me because they never actually get to turn. They used to turn. They used to turn every year before they fell, but not this year. This is a very early hard freeze, I think, for us, I feel like, especially because it's been in the 80s for like a week and a half, more than that. I think more than that. The air conditioning went out of my car. I've been having to drive my truck because I just can't do it without the air conditioning. But anyway, that's my backyard tour. You can see there is some fall color going on back there. Just a little bit. Oh, also, my hummingbird feeder is still up. I'm going to take this down, but there is actually still a hummingbird. I haven't seen it, but you can see it's drained most of the liquid, so I do still have a hummingbird here somewhere. It may just be passing through, but we do tend to keep them up longer here. People that know, that understand that we have stragglers, generally they leave pretty, at some point in September they leave, and so now we're at the very end of October. Tomorrow will be the 31st. Obviously, when you see this, it'll be into November, but today is the 30th, and yeah, we've definitely still got at least one hummer here. One more little clip here. We have Sunshine, who is now leaving the sunroom. She loves the sunroom. It's cold in here. I'm gonna have to bring my heater in here. I've got a space heater I put. It's like a little wall heater I put in here. But I wanted to show you that I had to dig up all my flowers. These were in the pots out front, the ones that where I'm going to put the pansies if I ever get them, if it's not too late. I just got Mom's pansies and put them in last Wednesday, so now it's time for me to get my pansies and put them in. But look how beautiful these are. Isn't that gorgeous? And the Hummer, you know, the Hummers love these. So probably maybe one reason the Hummers are still around because I've got this red color. They obviously love red and pink. They will eat other colors, eat from flowers of other colors. But anyway, Sunshine loves the plants. I'm surprised she's not digging them. Say hi to everybody, Sunshine. Sunshine's doing really well. She's doing great. We're so thankful. That's one thing we're very thankful for. This was the year that Sunshine got well finally. All right, I'm going to say goodbye now. Thanks for being here with me. Thanks again to Melinda from Melinda Plain and Simple for hosting our collaboration. Very different collaboration. I showed you the yard tour, the flowers, made a recipe, and what are you eating? Is there a bug? Don't nibble on my, look at her. Anyway, yard tour, flowers, recipe, fall decor, what little fall decor I have, that was what we did today. So I hope that you've enjoyed this, and she is just really showing out, isn't she? Don't chew on my plant, you wicked child. I love you, but why are you doing that? See, I'm not going to be able to let her stay out here. She's going to be very unhappy if she can't stay in the center room, but it will warm up again. I'm going to move these back outside. So these are not going to stay in all the time, just when I'm going to try to keep these four, at least two of these. Hopefully all four of them, but I'm going to try to keep at least two of these this year. It's hard to do because I tried to keep them in my barn last year. It got too cold out there. So we're going to try it this year inside.